E adesso vedrete un decoupage vero, non raccontato. Vai.
Questo è a braccio.
Beh.
No, ma è anche scritto, poi è riassunto. Sì, è anche interessante alla fine questo linguaggio del cinema, no? Che Maresa diceva geniale. Sono tutti questi dettagli, primissimi piani, very extreme close-ups, che chiaramente non sono una scena classica, sono proprio tutto un avvicendarsi di quello che può passare nelle menti di questi personaggi e soprattutto del bambino. Quindi è effettivamente un capolavoro per essere un film di scuola, aveva appena finito la scuola Jane Campion.
A proposito di scuole, una cosa che potrebbe andare bene con i ragazzi. Questo confronto tra padre e figlio, a che somiglia secondo voi? A una cosa di un genere cinematografico classico e noto a tutti. Ma l'Ok Corral, no? Quando la gente si sfida con le pistole e fa un duello. Lì c'è un duello tra un bambino e un adulto. Certamente non si odiano, però sono reciprocamente molto pericolosi. Molto pericolosi anche perché, per esempio, il bambino va a trovare dei rifiuti pericolosissimi, altro che arance.
Gonfia un preservativo, per esempio.
L'AIDS non c'era ancora, quindi non si sapeva quanto poteva essere pericoloso un giochetto del genere. Oppure, non lo so, un giudizio molto netto a proposito dei rifiuti. I rifiuti ci sono per davvero in questo film. Cioè, quando il padre esce dalla macchina e va a cercare il bambino, c'è una cosa che comincia con una carrellata, poi in realtà è una ripresa dal basso, di macchina a mano probabilmente, di lui sempre che fa questo percorso, che prima cominciamo a vederlo da fuori che sta correndo, poi diventa una soggettiva del padre che correndo guarda in terra, e c'è tutto come immondizie possibili e immaginabili per quella strada, e non sono residui naturali, Cioè, in quel paesaggio, che sicuramente è molto naturale perché non c'è niente, quindi non si vede come potrebbe esserci un grande effetto umano, da che si vede la presenza dell'uomo? Dalle monnezze che lascia per strada. Quindi anche lì è pesantissimo come giudizio, non è una cosa leggera, sempre rimanendo sulle monnezze.
Sì, poi noi abbiamo una scheda appunto di Peel, fa parte delle prime 10 schede composte, e per esempio il fatto che il terzetto familiare non è quello classico fa sì che possa emergere questo squilibrio di genere anche, perché probabilmente una moglie non avrebbe risposto così tanto, o forse sì, ma in questo caso, essendo fratello e sorella, la relazione doveva essere pari e invece non lo è, quindi è ancora più evidente questo. E poi abbiamo le varie osservazioni in blu, cioè quelle che possono essere didattiche, delle guidelines su come lavorare su questo film. Abbiamo sempre in viola appunto varie osservazioni che sono anche nel decoupage, tecniche di linguaggio cinematografico. E quindi ecco, se poi volete anche andare un po' ancora più a fondo, sebbene il decoupage sia un approfondimento abbastanza quasi completo, nessun decoupage sarà mai completo perché ognuno può poi invece andare a osservare cose che non sono state osservate da chi ha analizzato, e ci sono le Suggested Inclusive Didactic Guidelines, proprio perché il clou di questo piccolo grande film è come passa l'educazione aggressiva e violenta di generazione in generazione. La donna ha poca possibilità di cambiare questo meccanismo, protesta, alla fine fa la stessa cosa che l'uomo, il suo fratello, non vuole, e poi tutto si blocca perché è un sistema, diciamo, educativo relazionale che non può funzionare. Quindi la regista ha denunciato questo sistema educativo. Quindi per noi, anzi per un'educazione inclusiva, è un lavoro abbastanza interessante.
In sostanza la cosa importante era che il bambino obbedisse al padre, Cioè l'obbedienza pura, cieca, quella militare, no? Perché si fa cosa perché te l'ho ordinato, sì, non perché c'ha un senso, una ragione.
Il bambino chiede perché e il padre dice perché l'ho detto io, perché io lo voglio. Perché io voglio che tu faccia così, ho detto che devi fare così. Cosa che ci siamo sentiti ripetere anche noi, forse ancora non è così un film così antico. Quindi lavorare anche su questo tipo di relazione sarebbe interessante. E qui ci sono varie domande, appunto, che troverete sulle schede, potete inventarne anche voi. Come film questo è per over 13, più di 13 anni, perché comunque è abbastanza complesso quello che dice. Va bene, se avete voi delle osservazioni, prego, su questo. Se venite qui gentilmente, please, if you kindly come here to the microphone for your observation. Thank you.
Ora è chiaro che chiunque di noi analizza un testo, sia letterario, pittorico, sicuramente vede qualche altra cosa, oltre quella che l'altro può aver visto. Quindi ben volentieri.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello. Hi. Watching the clip, I kind of analyzed it in a psychological point of view. I don't really understand the other aspects to it, but as a psychology teacher, I understood that in psychology we teach a theory that's called the social learning theory by Albert Bandura. And this theory is about, basically, it's got to do with children and how they imitate their role models. So by observing your role model, you then start to imitate their behavior. So you identify with it, and if you pay attention, then you replicate the behavior. So for me, watching it, that was what I picked up, basically, because at the beginning, the child was reluctant to stop throwing the peel out of the window, basically. So the child wanted to throw it, and his father's words meant nothing to him. However, when he then decided that he was going to pick it up, and then his father kind of rewarded him, I guess, by having him on his shoulders, and they were laughing on their way back, the child then changed his mindset to now, when the aunt was throwing the peel, that he was being like imitating the aggressiveness towards her now, to do the same. So I was watching it in a psychology view.
Yeah, exactly. That's a transmission way of behavior, of aggressive behavior.
Yeah,
we imitate what we see around, so that's why we are all responsible for education and for creating relations.
Yeah, I think that'd be good for me to show in my psychology class.
Yes, great.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes, I agree with you. I was also going to tell that was a big impact to see the male, the big male and the small male, one on the other, going back to the film, and that was really very, very strong as an image. And then for me, it was also, you talked at the beginning about the noises, the sound, and also the speed. Mm-hmm. So everything happened in a car, and there were also these cars that we didn't see the interior, but they were very fast, and they were for me also a danger. When the boy went out, go and get the peels, I was like a mother, I always said, oh, would I do something like that to my son to put him in the danger? That was always very nearby and passing, so also this kind of aggressivity and danger that was shown that way. Yeah. Okay? A lot of aggressivity was in this film.
Violence, yes. Yes, and we can distinguish the different approach in the different gender. The woman is worried about not seeing the boy anymore. It's the dangerous situation. He is proud that the boy did what he wanted, and for him that's enough. So not a good model of education, so we can discuss it quite long. Okay. I think so, if no other contribution is there, we could now pass to another decoupage. There are different ways of making decoupage. This is the one I made about this film. It's a long feature movie, so this is longer, but we will not go through the whole movie. It would be impossible. The film is Tutto quello che vuoi, All What You Want. You have the educational tags, the points of interest, if you want to discuss it. We have a synopsis, we have the subject and the cast, and the distribution. This is the one that is on RaiPlay. If you want to see for free, it is there. The director gave us the permission to use it, but the rights are owned by RaiPlay. So we also have to deal a little bit with these things for seminars, workshops, classes, teaching. We can do what we want with the images, but we cannot make an entire screening because it is now the rights are of RaiPlay. But you can see at home, it is free. So if you want to see the whole movie, then with your time you can. But now we will go just through an analysis of maybe the first sequence, that is the long one, because it is the prologue. So I will show you the first sequence. It is 12 minutes, 12 minutes and a few seconds. And I will show you how we can analyze it, considering together the two languages, the subject and all the reflection we can make about what is shown, and the filmic language, how these feelings and information and the whole plot is conveyed. Let's see the sequence. It is the long one. Then I have others that are very, very shorter. We see if we go into some others also. But let's see le luci sala. Le luci. Spengi le luci. Buio. E quindi io ho appunto messo queste clip dentro un PowerPoint in questo caso, e poi c'è questo schema che è il cosiddetto decoupage. Forse avevo iniziato a parlarne in inglese, non mi ricordo. Comunque, this is the English version of the decoupage, and we have the timing on this column. We have the cinema language, frames and shootings and location, and some indication on light and sounds and music. Then we have the scene and sequences with the most important part of the dialogue, and the educational tags, the interesting point of the story. This is the prologue, so we see the environment, how these guys are spending their time in the bar, looking at girls, commenting them in a very sexist way, very sexist words, how they are violent. They show their arrogance. It is a sort of real delinquency, small delinquency, but it is drug delivery, and it's delinquency actually. And the film will turn in 1 hour and a half, more or less, in the transformation of these guys. So this is the point why I thought this is an interesting film for our project. Because we see from for instance, the conflict in the house that is also a sexist conflict between the father and the father mate, that partner that is not Italian, and there is also some racism in it. The protagonist call her Mignotta, and it's not her mother, so he think he can treat her as he wants, and the father also intervene, but the main conflict is between father and son, because he doesn't want to work in the market where he sells fruits, and he wants the money, but he says it's just a little money, I don't, this is not money, it's not what I want. So the father say he will not even give that little money to him for tattoos and what smokes and what he like to have. He's not too determined, so the woman intervene, and this is not accepted by the young guy and even by the father. We see a scene there, it is taken from outside the house, the window, that is divided in 4 sections, given by the window itself. And we see, but it is used as frames for the narrative of the film, because the woman is always apart, it's in a frame on the right, or on the left, I don't know, it depends on where we are. The father and the son are talking and discussing in conflict in another frame. The apartment, we have the possibility to see that it's quite poor, a low-class apartment. And so also these parts are interesting. We have, before the conflict with the other band, with the other gang of the area, and we have a ralenti at a certain point where the protagonist look at the young guy who fell down with the motor, and he's a very young guy, and he looks to him affectively almost, but we still don't know why, but we perceive something because of the ralenti and because of his expression. He lost his mother when he was that age, and he proved a sort of love, if not love, affection toward this young guy who is in the street dealing drugs. And maybe he's sorry for that, but it's just a second, police arrive, and then we see the other scene immediately cut in the night where the couple, father and his partner, went to take him out of jail, as it happens often, they say. So we have already the environment proposal. And then we have the scene of the little kiosco of the lottery kiosk. And we have this relationship that is something that will develop also. That will develop in a good way. And we will see that it's not a question of betrayal in a couple, but that woman is the mother of his friend in the group who maybe suspects something because he goes and see why the shop is closed. So this will have an interesting development also in the movie. And so there are so many possibilities of analysis and details that are interesting. Beyond the part here that is the filmic language, we have also all the plot analyzed here with some dialogues. And here we will follow, if we go farther until the end of the film. I analyzed, I think, 11 clips. How the transformation of a character is portrayed, is made. And it's an interesting movie because of the transformation. If we have seen in the previous movie how a relationship is blocked by aggressivity, by a patriarchal system, by violence, Here we will see instead the transformation. It's a film of 2017, 2017. Also the history of cinema changed. Anyway, it's a choice of the directors, producers, screenplayers, and everything. This is taken from a novel with the same title. Here, the aim was more to show a transformation. Of course, it is a film, it's not a high-budget film, it's a medium-low-budget film, but they have a real troupe, they have a normal producer organization. And in the Lotto shop, we see the violence that this young guy is acting toward the old woman. He wants to talk privately with her lover, who's the mother, so it's a secret relation. He's violent and arrogant and aggressive with her also, even if he loves her. So this raises the question of love and what kind of relationship we have in a couple that should be a couple where love is the link, the connection of these two characters. He's aggressive, but she's a woman who is able to stop him. She has to say several times, but then she is able to say no. And then, okay, he has to go because his friend wants to enter in her mother's shop, so it stops like that. Then we see him going. The woman, this elder woman, talked to him and asked if he wants or not go to do the job that his father proposed. So his father make not a compromise, a decision. If you don't go and work with this old man who needs someone to bring him around to have a walk every day, I will not give you any more money, even if you think it's small money, and I will change the key of the door. So he's not sure to do that. He say no, but he talks about it with the older woman. So a relationship of a very unbalanced age could also have a positive point. In this case, they show that the woman is able to talk a language that he understands. It's a language of young people. He's a middle-aged woman. He doesn't accept the language of the father, but he accepts the language of her lover, who is more aged than him. So we see in the last scenes that he is entering the house, a middle class or high class house, so it's not his class environment, but he's going there. Then the clip goes on, and he see he's decided not to accept the job, but finally, through several passages, he will accept it. And then the story is a turning point of the story, because the relationship with this old man, he's a poet. He doesn't even go to school, so poetry, what the hell is it? Stupid things. And step by step, he instead will understand, he will build a relationship with this man, who has also an incipient dementia senile or Alzheimer. So it's a difficult relation for everybody, and instead the relation will work. So I am going a little bit in a hurry, but you can read it comfortably with the material we will put online. I would like to show you another short sequence, this time a short one, of the turning point. Here we see that they make walks in nice places. This man, this young guy from, it's sort of the township, but very low neighbors have never been in this park that is beautiful, and he starts understanding what the poet makes and says. What does it mean, poet? Oh, beauty is connected to poetry. That's interesting. And they start to have a relationship on a good way. Here they find, and the guys are not invited actually to the house where he works, but they impose themselves and they invade the house of the old poet, doing what they want. Smoking, playing cards, watching TV, everything. But surprisingly, the old poet is so amazed by that. He's so happy to have young people around. He is forbidden to smoke for him, but they give him smoke, and he's so happy. And everything goes so well in this, that classically we would say that everything is wrong in this relationship. But creativity is at core, and it's very interesting. And since the poet had, in a moment of lost, has made graffiti with his poems on the wall of his studio, they find this graffiti room, and they like it a lot. So they also approach poetry. It's interesting in many ways, but then they try to take advantage of the old man, but he, the protagonist, has already started an affective relationship, and so protects him, defends him as far as he can. It's not easy because this little gang is not so manageable, but they make to do that. A core sequence is when I could see that yes, this is nice. Let's see this. Si può abbassare la luce? Is 1 minute 7 seconds. È solo 1 minuto questa clip. Ecco, io di solito qui sbaglio.
Illumino, lascialo acceso.
Vabbè, buonanotte.
Buonanotte. Alessandro, resti un pochino con me?
Certo.
Io non ci voglio nessun altro qui.
Vabbè.
Mai, mai, mai.
Mai, mai, mai. Promesso.
Ma che fai? Piangi? Ti fa bene? Ti fa bene? No, Alessandro. Alessandro. Sei un caro ragazzo, Alessandro.
Okay. Yeah, and so this is the point, a very important turning point, because now the old man calls him with the real name, who he never used up to here. We are 2/3 of the film at least, or maybe more. And so he feels desired. The old man says, I want only you here with me, no other person. And so this is the first time that someone says something to Alessandro, to the protagonist. And it is really touching. It really make us feel the feeling and the love that happened between these two people, that at the beginning you say, okay, it's impossible, a tragedy will come out. Then the film has not a happy ending because it's not so happy. It's quite realistic. That's interesting also for our educational aim. It's realistic. It's not a fairy tale. But it's interesting to see this transformation, even this intergenerational relation, interclass relation, gender relations are well developed. And so in this sort of decoupage, we can see point by point, and you can make it on your own films you choose, or you can make it in a more open way. It depends when you want to choose the points you want to highlight in a movie. And then there is a chain of affective relationship that starts. So the father again addresses his son because he made a lot of things he doesn't agree with, but since the son had just lived this relation, this positive, affective, lovely relation with the old man, he's lovely with his father for the first time. And this can happen. I mean, it's not just a fairy tale, but it shows that good relationship can influence other relationship, the state, emotional state, relational state, the state you are with the rest of the world you have around, influence the other relation you can build with other people. So this first time that he says to his father, no, you're not someone who doesn't deserve any respect, and I love you, and goes away because he goes back to his old man that's become friend, but then I don't tell you the end. Okay, so the basic thing is to show how we can make a decoupage with very clear points and choosing the turning points or the issues we want to talk about. Okay, so I think stop. We have a coffee break now. If you want to make some observation on this. Yes, yes, there is a little problem for the next intervention, contribution, because Gianni Dorigo from Accademia Cappiello, who wanted to show us their work they made, that is in between cinema and graphics, and it regards violence against women, is unfortunately yesterday he was in the hospital, in the pronto soccorso, but we have the PowerPoint. We will just show you the slides. Unfortunately, we don't exactly know what he would have said, but we can show you the work they did. It is, anyway, the posters are based on the film Gaslight. That's a film about psychological violence and domestic violence, invisible violence in a couple. And they work on that. They don't work on cinema specifically in that school, but since they work with graphic, they made posters about this issue and this film. So, if there are no questions, we can go for a break, if you want. Yeah, then at 6 we have Vilma Labate in I don't know if it is Skype, WhatsApp, or whatever, online. She's on the set of her new film. She's the director of the film we can see tonight, La ragazza volato. But she's on a new set, and so she could talk to us and introduce her film, but she is on a new set. The interesting, the question we pose to the director we choose. One could be Francesco Bruni, the director of Tutto quello che vuoi, or Vilma Labate, is that they work with very young people. So as you will work with very young people, they can give us interesting tips on how they work. For instance, the protagonist, Andrea Carpenzano of Tutto quello che vuoi, was not an actor at all. He was just bringing a friend, accompanying a friend to the casting, and he was far away from the idea of acting in a film, but the director saw him accompanying the friend who instead wanted a part in a film and didn't get. And so he just act so naturally as our students and pupils maybe can do. Of course, we have to create a very friendly and welcoming and relaxed environment and context when we work. So this is the ability of directors. But he's not an actor, and so it is interesting also from this point of view for our project. He is also the protagonist of another film we have chosen in the 10 cards, for the 10 films we already made cards, that is Chiara. He's Francesco in the film of Susanna Nicchiarelli, Chiara. And he acts with a natural attitude that if you don't destroy it with the theater school, it's really interesting. Sometimes they become actors, and that's not the best, often, not always. Okay, so I think if you want to relax a little short time, and then we will show you the slides of the posters, and then we'll pass to Vilma Labate connection. Yeah, we'll talk of Vilma Labate, but now it's ora il break. Bene. Yes, an exercise we would like to do with you. I don't know if we have time. Maybe we have time before showing you the slides of the posters, because if you want to say something on the images, if you want to improvise an analysis of a little scene, of a sequence, of what would you say on a clip, we could do that. We have the time. Okay. So, see you after the coffee break.